Okay. Hi, I'm back again. This is technically a bonus video because you guys actually managed to go ahead and get enough people to agree to come see us that we actually get something going. So yay team, though, yeah, I don't want to do it. So I had a friend and he had the most beautiful car I've ever seen in my life. It was a purple 1955 Ford Fairlane. Really did like this car. And him and his dad, when I was in high school, they spent a long time restoring this car, hunting down parts and stuff. They even had the nipple glass. You don't know what I'm talking about. There's a piece of glass that sits over the speedometer and the tack, and it comes out like this, to a point. Looks like two rocket ship titties. And we decide one night, in our brilliance, being, four males running around in a small town, we're going to go run around with frozen paintballs and a paintball gun and shoot shit. Specifically cows. At least it wasn't cow tipping. I was warned about that shit when I moved here. Didn't want to do it. So we go running around, and by the time we finally find a cow, it's starting to get dark. And we hop the fence and we go through the little field and we find this cow. And it's solid black. And by this point, it's pretty fucking dark, so you can't really see anything but this white diamond right between its eyes. And it's all like, hey, I'm a cow, what's going on? There's flies. Life sucks. You're going to eat me someday. Hey. So we walk up. Hey, cow. Fucking cow doesn't do anything, right? It's fucking like 1,500 pound animal, right? Why the fuck is it going to give a shit about a couple paintballs, right? And then we walked up and shot it point blank right between the fucking eyes of this little diamond, little orange spot right there. Like, hey, look, it's a Hindu cow. It's fucking safe. That wasn't a cow. That cow was a bull. And it got mad. Run! Run, jump over the fucking fence, roll through the ditch, land. Everybody's safe. The cow is now angry, but Hindu, so it's safe. We technically saved its life. We're fucking assholes, but we're conscious. So, we get back to the car, and the car won't start. So the guy who owns the car walks down the road, trying to hitch a ride back into town. We're real outside of town. Not a place you want to leave a car like this. And my other friend, who shall remain nameless because he will not enjoy his name being all over the internet, is the guy who took it home. Oh wait, hold on, I haven't gotten there. He's like, hey, I need to take a shit. So he walks off to the car, and me and my other friend, we're sitting there, we got the paintball gun, and it's dark. You can barely see the car with what little moonlight that illuminates the area. And you hear him grunting. I don't know why, but you assume he was a little constipated. And I'm like, I got an idea. With the dial on the CO2. Hey! That almost hit me! How far off was it? It was about a foot. Which direction? It was a little to the left. Hey! That almost hit me! How far off was it? I don't know, about 2 feet? Which direction? To the right? Ow! How far off was it? You fucking hit me right in the ass. When is the turd was coming out? You alright? No! You feel better? Yes! My ass hurts. Okay. Now keep in mind, he squatted right outside of the car. A beautifully restored 1955, the year Marty McFly fucking went back to Ford Fairlane. This was not a cheap restoration. We get up to the car, and it's so dark we don't know what's going on. We don't see anything wrong. And my buddy who's just been taking his shit and got hit by the paintball walks up with this piece of paper and his hand's like this. And he's like, you gotta see this. And he takes his lighter and he goes click, 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 and you hear metal on metal. Not metal on something soft. Not metal on even like something like hard dirt. No, ting, 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 ting. Did you give birth to the Terminator? And he's like, look at this. No, it's a fucking turd. I don't want to fucking see that. Look at this. My buddy's like, no, it's a fucking turd. Fuck you. Oh, then he's like, ting, ting, ting. We're like, okay, well, man, we gotta look. Oh my god, and this fucking turd's that big around. And that fucking long. And solid. Right? It's like, you gave birth. What are you gonna name it? Little Jimmy Turd? He's like, well, what do I do with it? Throw it in the ditch, asshole! What else are you gonna do with the turd? So he takes it and sticks it on the fucking antenna of the car. Ah! This turd is so solid and dense that the antenna goes whoop. And we're sitting there looking at this going, that's amazing and beautiful. And horrible because it's a giant turd. Are you bleeding? How are you not bleeding? I know, but you're sure you're not gay because you should be bleeding. That should be anal leakage. What's wrong with you? What are you eating? Are you fucking eating metal? Are you gnawing off handcuffs and shit? What? How the fuck do you give birth to this? Really? You just can't get over when you see something like this. Whoop. It's a solid fucking steel antenna and it just goes, you know what? No. I can't deal with the pressure or the stress. Jimmy's too big. So we're sitting around and he's like, you know, I didn't wipe my... God damn it! Here, and we throw in something that turns out to be my buddy's McDonald's uniform, which I still don't think he ever found out about. So hopefully he didn't wear it to work. Oh. Carefully. So, we're sitting around and like, waiting. Finally, Justin comes back, and we recognize the headlights on his dad's truck. Get that turd off the fucking antenna. Jerry hops out, and he runs around to the back of the car and he goes, smack with that turd. Oh. And instead of doing what you would think it would do, and just like, with something that solid, it just cowpies. And stays there. Like a fucking satellite dish. And now we have an idea of the utter destruction that has been caused by this paintball. Because I didn't turn the CO2 down like I thought. I turned it all the way up. So it was max pressure with frozen paintballs. Into the body of a beautifully restored 1955 Ford Fairlane that had the driver's seat window left rolled down, and some of those paintballs went through that window and destroyed that titty glass that was apparently very expensive and very hard to find. And we just sat there very quietly like three blind mice. I know nothing. I saw nothing. Because what do you say when a very angry 50-year-old man in a truck that looks like it's a fucking serial killer's truck walks up and goes, who did that? I don't know, but I'm sorry. He takes that big ass claw wrench thing, fucking chain that those tow trucks have, you know, that thing that looks like you just want to haul a cow down the road and see what happens. And he hooks it up to the car and he goes, you assholes get to ride in the car. And we looked like the three fucking weasels in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That whole ride home was that car went, oh, the fucking bang, 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 bang. It was surprising we had brain cells left by the time we got there. Jeremy threw up a couple times to add to the misery that he's brought on that car. And when we finally get back and we get settled in, and we're all not ill from the ride, we get thrown shop rags and told to clean up the mess that we created on this car. So we're all out. We're all taking a quarter of the car. And we notice that the guy who owns the car is at the back driver's side of the car, where the cow pie happens to be on the windshield. And he's wiping it off, rumbling to himself in that way that somebody who's very angry grumbles to themselves. And he looks up to say something to one of us, and he sees the cow pie. He walks up to it. He stops what he's doing, he puts the rag down. He walks up and he's looking at it. And pulls it off.
Oh.
And he's just sitting there looking at it. And he looks up and you can just see the thought of, what the fuck is this? All this shit you've done to my car, what the fuck is this? And then he goes, and I'm just sitting there. Don't look, I can't look. If I look, I'm gonna fucking lose it. If I look, I'm gonna fucking lose it. If I look, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Can't look. Nope. And then he fucking sniffs it again. And I hit the fucking dirt rolling. You think that's fucking funny? You motherfucker. I bet you fucking did. I didn't do it. Fucking just stop. But the Fairlane got its revenge on me. Because when I finally made it home that night, I got to have my first experience with ticks. And they were not in a place where I could pull them off by myself. And I had to have my mother use a pair of tweezers, alcohol, and a lighter, and pull them off of my junk. Because I have a belly, and I cannot bend over far enough to see my taint. Which is where they decided to congregate.